Looks like at the left position as the orange Protoss, we do have Liquid Drone.
Then over on the right side, we do have SCC's Faust.
And I'm sure people are already complaining in the chat, but it looks like I have real-time lighting enabled for some strange reason, so I will get rid of that at the ASAP.
Same thing happened to me. I think it maybe reset the settings again. It's done that like 3 times over the past 3 days for me.
Are there any other settings I want to change? Whatever. Just get rid of that for now. Okay. Whew. Oh, turn my game music on. Perfect. Okay, everything is Gucci now. Great. Crossing field, first map, excellent. We're in the round of 32, so this is actually going to be a best of 3, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can find out who actually, who they actually beat in the first round. So it looks like Drone beat some guy called Ro32, and Faust actually took out Fonger, the legendary Fonger that I think we casted in week 1, was defeated by Mr. Faust, who is sending a drone in a very strange pattern.
Oh, he's scouting for proxies, I think.
Hey, I got a subscriber, by the way. Thank you so much, 9mm Baby Eater. I'm actually going to turn off my sub alerts now for the TeamLiquid Open, but yes, I will try and keep an eye on it and give you guys a shout out. You just won't appear on the screen. Thank you.
Yeah, the location that Faust actually scouted is a really popular place to put proxy 2 gate, so maybe wondering if Drone is going to do that. Maybe just trying to be a little bit sneaky, knowing Faust.
That's actually really interesting. I didn't really think about that because of how kind of macro-oriented Crossing Field is, but it's still a 2-player map, right? So you can still do crazy cheeses. And interestingly, it's also interesting, like, I mean, Drone is such a good player. It's very funny that Faust would kind of be wary of a cheese coming from him.
I mean, sometimes the better players just want to get the games out of the way quicker, so they can spend a lot more time a little bit later on in the tournament. I mean, Drone probably knows Faust by now. Faust has been playing absolutely everything, so possibly knowing that Faust could be a little bit weak early game.
Yeah, that definitely does make sense. Meanwhile, it looks like, look at this freaking Drone blocking the Nexus. I mean, Drone doesn't actually have enough money for a Nexus, but it looks like that was actually what he was planning. He went 1 gate, no tech. Drone doing some kind of weird 1 gate expand against Zerg. Very interesting.
He's stolen the Bonneth build.
This is so interesting. And the thing is, like, I thought Faust's early drone was a complete waste of money, but it's actually helped him. It's actually delayed the Nexus by quite a bit. Now, the Zealot does come out. It's going to force the drone to run away here, but...
Oh, this is going to be close. Going to get away.
Yeah, he's got 2 shots left. I think he should be fine. First Zealot is now out, though.
Oh, is he gonna... He's going to use the gas again to get his health back. That's kind of cool. He's done that 3 times now with that drone. And he's going up to 3 hatches, so there is a Zealot in his main, but Faust already has the 6lings ready to defend against this. But how many drones can he get? He's got 1 already.
I think it's just going to be the 1. Yes, indeed it will. Also, actually, just to clarify, like a 1 gate expand is the popular build now, right? But it's always with the 1 gate at the natural to make a wall. So actually, now that I think about it, I don't know why I was so surprised by this. Like, this is perfectly fine, because now you can also just block your ramp with Zealots. Interestingly, like, you could do something like this on Outsider, right? So on Outsider, you also get the free back bases, but usually on Outsider, you see 2 gate Zealot openings, rather than just the 1 gate, I think? Or, I don't know, I could be wrong about that, I'm not really sure, but... Anyway, he's going to block his ramp now with the 3 Zealots. It's going to be completely safe, adding on the 2nd gateway. The gas was a little bit delayed due to that gas deal, so we'll have to see if that does anything. But Faust did make a lot of Zerglings that I don't think are really going to do anything here.
Yeah, interestingly enough as well, Faust, where he was trying to deal with the Zealot in his main, didn't cancel the gas, so the gas did finish. And he did lose that early drone, so, I mean, it is only just a little loss, but it does all add up, especially for Zerg.
Yes, indeed. And what are we going to see? It looks like a Forge has started now for Mr. Drone. I'm actually... interesting. Okay, I actually... did you know that the back expansion on this map actually has less gas? it actually says 2,000 gas here. I kept hearing different reports of how much gas exactly was there. So a normal geyser, of course, is 5,000. It looks like the back one starts with only 2,000. I saw someone say it was a 1,500. Like the co-caster on ASL with Artosis one time said it was a depleted geyser, and I was like, no, that makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, that would make absolutely zero sense. That was rapid. But yeah, it is a lesser geyser. They have used these on other maps before. I think the last one that had it was God's Garden, but I can't be sure. I know that was a long time ago as well. It's an interesting mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good mechanic purely on the basis that the base is so safe. I mean, Faust can't really do anything to his base right now. He's going up to his lair. He'll be able to get a Spire, so you can go something like Muteless or even Drops to try and harass that base, but it's pretty much just a free base for the first 10-15 minutes of the game.
Indeed it is. That is a lot of Zealots, by the way. Can Faust actually... Oh my god, the Overlord's actually not in range to see any of those Zealots. He actually doesn't have vision over a single Zealot. And there are 8 already. He went straight for the Citadel. No Stargate here from Drone. He's going to go run out with some hardcore speed lot action, and Faust could potentially be in a bit of trouble. He's got some Hydras moving out here. I wonder if he actually rushed for Lurkers here with the Lair and the Hydra Den already done and no additional hatchery. The lack of a 4th hatchery and the fact that the Hydras are already moving out indicates to me that it's very likely he went for Lurkers. Also, knowing Faust, it could definitely be Lurkers. But looks like Zealot's moving out. The Zerglings actually don't even have speed yet, it seems. So no even threat of a backstab or anything against Drone.
This is going to force Faust to at least build a couple of sunken colonies. They're only adding 1 so far, but I think we'll see another couple. This is a hell of a lot of Zealots to deal with this early in the game, and it looks like Drone behind this is going to take his 3rd base.
Yes, indeed he is. Drone playing this actually pretty greedily here, not at all afraid of any kind of mutas coming out from Faust. I don't think Faust actually even has a Spire, so that's like a completely valid thing, but I can't remember if he actually, or how much Drone actually saw that would indicate that. Meanwhile, looks like the Zealots are going to get pushed back by a decent number of Hydras. Looks like I might have actually been wrong on that Lurker prediction, but I am surprised he hasn't been able to add another hatchery yet, given that he is just going Hydras. Because the normal build, you would add, 1 or 2 extra hatcheries, right?
I think he's going for a 3-hatch Hydra burst. If you look at his drone count at his 3rd and his natural, he's really got very few drones on minerals. He's not added his 3rd gas either. So I think he could just be going for a bust on the front here. Now, the 3rd base wasn't actually built, and the 2 Overlords will see the more Zealots moving across the map. But he should have enough Hydra soon to actually just barrel up the ramp. There's no cannons there. Actually, Drone's going to start adding cannons as I say that. So, Drone well prepared.
There's a High Templar that's going to suicide. It's running out. The Overlord actually sees it. He runs back now. That could have been very, very bad if he got that one sniped off. But the Hydras are now backstabbing. The Zealots are on the other side. He could go for some kind of flank here. Drone was preparing to take this base and realizing, wait a minute, that's not going to happen. I think it was smart of him not to get too greedy with this. I guess he saw with the Zealots how many Hydras were coming out with the upgrades, knew he couldn't actually do it safely. The flanking Zealots do take down 1 of the Hydras. And here we go. Here's the surround on the Zealots. It's not that much on the other side, though. Are there any storms available? No, 58 energy is not enough for the Psy Storm, but there is enough energy on this single High Templar, and he's going to catch a lot of these Hydras on the retreat as well. Drone doing a nice positional move with these Zealots, and he has his +1 upgrade now, and he's got 3 High Templars.
Yeah, that was certainly a very bad engagement for Faust. He is now adding on his 4th hatchery at his 4th base, so being somewhat greedy there in terms of trying to expand so quickly against someone who is going for such a mobile Zealot force at the beginning of the game. He's now got his Lurkers though, and this is going to help him considerably. Oh, it looks like he's going to do a slow Overlord drop as well at the 12 o'clock.
It looks like speed actually finished. It's been so long that he actually has speed already. So he will get the easy drop in, and I'm a little bit surprised that Drone hasn't built just a single cannon to help defend against that kind of thing. It's also very interesting to me that Drone is completely getting away with a lack of Stargate here against Faust. I don't know, maybe this is just a read on his style. I die to mutas so often, this just feels so unfair. Nice reaction time by Drone there.
Yeah, he's also added the cannon. This should be able to be cancelled by the Lurkers as long as he focuses it down but it does block the mining, and it does put drone back on one base for the time being.
There's one going into the main kicks. The rowboat was only just finished. He's not going to have ults for a while. 2 lurkers in the main base. This could be huge. He's got nowhere to run to. He's got to run to the natural. Oh my god, the lurker spines are going through.
6 kills. 6 kills on that one lurker from that one shot on all the probes. That is completely insane. The observatory, as you say, is just finished. The cannon goes down, and look how much of Drone's army he's had to pull back. He's had to pull back absolutely everything for going all map control at this point in the game.
The probes are returning into the lurker fire. Look at the main nexus. They're running into the lurker fire. What is going on?
15 kills. 15 kills on that lurker. Or the other. Oh my god, he dodges the storm as well. They're getting up more probes.
Oh my god. I think there were at least 20 pro kills on those 2 lurkers. How many do the back ones have? The back ones have 4 kills. Oh god, oh god, drone is falling apart. The observatory is there as well. The Hydra lurker are coming in. Wait, I thought he already had one. Oh no, that is just his only observatory, but now he's gonna lose it. He's gonna make sure not to lose those observers either. He's probably gonna have to cancel this Nexus. Faust is ripping drone apart right now with the multitask. Finally, the lurkers in the back are dead, but look at all this wasteful army positioning. So many units just running around in the back when they could have, most of them could have actually stayed at the front and held onto that base, but now Faust has finished his 4th base. He's getting additional macro hatcheries. He's finally getting his Spire, as well as some upgrades, and Faust is in control of this game. He's got the supply lead.
Yeah, I mean, if Zerg has a supply lead, it means Protoss is in a very awkward position. It looks like Drone actually lost the vast majority of his probes, only up to about 16 probes, I think, overall on his main. Got a few at his natural as well. But yeah, he's going to find it hard to take this 3rd base.
And looks like the Zealots are moving out now to take this down. There's a lot of lurkers here doing a lot of damage to all the clumped up Zealots. He's taking so much damage. Oh, kind of a not so great storm there from Drone. That storm is a lot better on the Hydras.
Okay, it looks like Faust has been a little bit... he's actually going for a massive drop right now. He's loaded up a load of army into all his overlords at his natural, and I think he's going to forego the front and go straight into the main.
Man, it's interesting that he actually loaded up instead of running everything over near the Protoss base first, but he is moving over there, as you say. The Hive on the way behind this as well. He's got a couple of Sunkens at home to defend, building another Sunken to defend his 4th base, just to make sure no sneaky DT shenanigans kill all his stuff while he's not paying attention. And now that Drone is about to move his army out, this is the anti-timing here. Drone's army has been in exactly the wrong position at pretty much every point in this game, every time Faust attacks. Now the army's moving back. Look at the mini-map. I think now he's going to get a view of the Overlords, immediately starts pulling things back, but it's going to be a little bit slow. And here we go, the Doom Drop on the main base kicks. Oh
yeah,
my
this
god.
is going to do a lot of damage. I think Faust actually made the good choice moving the army along in the dropships, because it wouldn't have given Drone a chance to see exactly if they had anything in or not. And also, there's no Corsairs, so there was nothing to get in the way of these. I mean, it looks like it's going to be cleaned up, but look at how much damage the lurkers are doing. They've killed so many of Drone's units.
Oh my god, he's killing I-Templars, he's killing Archons, he's killing everything. There's a storm! He stormed his own probes, he killed 2 of his own probes with a Psionic Storm. The Overlords move out now, but another great attack here. And the thing is, not only is this doing damage, but it's also stopping Drone from actually attacking Faust's bases. Because remember, Faust was actually moving out at that time, Drone was moving out at the time, getting ready to go and attack one of Faust's bases, and had to pull everything back to defend this. A Greater Spire, by the way, is on the way. I guess he's going to make Guardians for this? Very interesting.
Guardians are a very good choice against a Protoss who doesn't have a Stargate yet as well. And also you have this, I mean, he's dropping over it now, but this weird river thing at the top, where Guardians can sit and just take down the space. But look at how much army Faust is actually sending in.
Oh man, more units coming down here. A little bit of a semi-wall blocking things, but a nice storm. Actually, no, it kills only his... It only killed probes, that storm. It killed 2 of his gas probes. It seems it's a much smaller drop this time. Just a handful of Hydras and Lurkers, but it is going to kill even more of the workers here. Drone's economy is completely shattered. Holy moly.
Yeah, looks like Faust has now finally gone up to, I believe he's on 5 hatcheries. Not added his 6 yet. I think it's going... Oh no, that's the Defiler Mound. So you're actually going up to Defilers as well. And these Overlords are still primed and ready to do yet another drop, and there's nothing Drone can do about it, other than somewhat spam cannons or leave Dragoons back to defend. And here come the Mutalisks.
not only can the drops go in, but these mutalisks are turned into Guardians, and the Guardians will actually support the drop that goes in, right? The Guardians can actually just attack all the units that are clumping around the ramp that are trying to come down and defend, so he can kind of like supplement the attack. He's even just going to expand here. We're so close to the Protoss base, but of course this is actually, even though it's close by air, it's quite far by ground. 8 cocoons morphing, presumably those are all Guardians. Could maybe like one Devourer just in case there are some Corsairs coming out, but I imagine they're probably just all Guardians there. And this is going to be devastating for Drone. He doesn't even have a Stargate. The only way he can really deal with this is by Psionic storming them.
Yeah, and look how small Drone's army is as well. He's got a handful of Dragoons at the front of his base with 2 Templar, and only 2 Templar and 2 Dragoons at the back. Drone has just been so poor this entire game, and the Guardians are now moving in, and they'll be able to snipe absolutely everything.
Okay, so he's got to be careful not to clump them up too much for the storms, and also not to walk them too far forward so that Dragoons can hit them easily. There's the first storm, grabs 2 of the Guardians. The rest are a little bit clumped.
Drone's not reacting with all of his army. Imagine if he had all of his Dragoons up here. He could do so much damage to the Guardians, but only now is he moving them into his base.
Oh man, the Guardians taking a decent number of storms here, but 5 of them are still left, and Archon is morphing. It's not going to be that effective. Random obs in Faust base. I thought that was a DT. That would have been very helpful for Drone, but it is actually not the case. A lot of Hydra laying are in the middle, getting ready. The natural is open, as you said, Kicks. Now that he's pulled back all his Dragoons.
The 3 storms may save him there, but I mean, he's going to be in trouble. Do these have crackling upgrade? It doesn't look like they do yet, but imagine if they did Sayle, it would be a complete bloodbath. But that storm!
Oh my god, that storm. Taking down so many units, but Hydra Ling are super cheap. It doesn't really matter. He right-clicked the Nexus, Kicks. He's right-clicked the Nexus. He's going to try and take it down. It doesn't look like they actually have Adrenal Gland upgrade on the Zerglings, but it doesn't matter. Still going to kill it off. And Faust.
Yeah, he now does have this 12 o'clock base as well. Faust is in such a dominating position this game. Drone now has finally gone above in supply, that he's only realistically on 1 base mining. And he's not in a very good position.
I mean, this is like the Protoss' worst nightmare, where you just like constantly on the defensive, constantly responding to threats and having your army pulled in every direction, and every time you're just a little bit too slow. You react in time to not die, but you've already taken so much damage that by the time you kill all the Zerg units, it doesn't matter, they did the damage, right? The Nexus here died. In the back, yeah, he killed the Guardians, but they did a bunch of damage and basically baited the main army away from the front. And similarly with the main drop, yeah, he cleaned up the drop, but by the time he did it, he already lost 20 probes. So every time he's just a step behind.
Look at the 12 o'clock again. He's going in with another 5 overlords filled with units, and there's no defense on this top nexus. And he's got the rest of his army moving across the middle. There's just so many lurkers here. Oh, but that's a good storm.
Ooh, that was indeed very nice. But Dark Swarm is available, which is going to really nullify those Dragoons. A lot of the lurkers, most of the lurkers actually burrow away from the Swarm. He actually didn't burrow anything under the Dark Swarm. Completely messed up on the burrow, but the drop in the back is going to kill the cannon. It's going to kill more drones. And it's potentially going to kill the Nexus if he actually targets this, although the Zerglings are chasing the probes into the main base. He had the potential to actually kill this. He's killing all the probes here. He's going to kill the Nexus eventually, I think. Oh no, he actually has 2 lurkers. Oh, I think he repositioned those under the Dark Swarm now, but now he does actually have Adrenal Glands. The 4 Crackling is going to take down this Nexus easy peasy.
Yeah, they may even get these 2 Templars here. The Zerglings running sooner than they are. There's no storm yet on them, so this is such a big loss for him right now.
Kicks, there's a 8 kill or a 7 kill Crackling that was just eating probes in the main base. Oh my god. And also, oh my god, lurkers though, and Defiler's running through the main army. You're gonna lose a few units. Faust losing a little bit of control of his army. Just too much going on in this game. Too much multitask happening to keep track of everything.
Yeah, it looks like Faust actually built a Nidus at the 6 o'clock as well. And he still has all those overlords, not 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock. He still has the overlords in wait, so he could actually drop again on this Nexus. There's only 1 Templar to defend.
Wow, that's actually... Oh, wait. Got an attack coming in here? Nope, never mind. Drone unable to deal with the Dark Swarm, having pretty much only Dragoons here. He has +2 attack, but... I mean, you do 0 damage on a Swarm regardless of how many upgrades you have. At least he has reclaimed his natural expansion here with a Nexus, so he's going to get a little bit more income. He's actually not mining at his main at all, or at his back expo, in fact. He's effectively on just the 1 base.
Yeah, he's been on 1 base pretty much most of this game so far. Faust has done a really good job just harassing like mad at each of the bases with drops. Oh, but that's a big swarm, a big storm under the swarm.
Another decent storm, grabbing a few more Hydralisks. And it looks like Drone is just trying his best to hold on. This is a very lore-appropriate game right here. Protoss is trying to defend their homeworld. Zerg dropping and attacking and coming in with Guardians and everything. And the valiant Protoss forces cannot hold here. Nice Plague on the Dragoons by Faust as well. Really, I mean, that basically shows you how bad Dragoons are in the super late game here. Once you get those Defilers out, Swarm and Plague both completely shut down Dragoons.
Yeah, and while he was moving through the middle, plaguing the main army, he sent some wings over to the 6 o'clock with workers, and he's going to be able to put up a position here and stop, at least for the time being, Drone from expanding. Oh, there's so many cracklings going into the natural.
Where is the storm? It looks like they don't have energy yet. Still at 65. He's right-clicked the Nexus, kids. He doesn't have an attack upgrade, though. He doesn't have an attack upgrade, but can he finish it? Look how fast he's killing it. Oh, Nexus!
Oh, it's going to be so close. Oh, that was really close, but I mean, any number of speedlings can run over there soon and kill it. I mean, look at how many Sunkens he's got at this 12 o'clock base as well. It's going to be so hard for Drone to actually engage into that.
Indeed it is. I mean, man, even with no attack upgrades, plus 0 melee attack, Zerglings are still able to do so much damage to that Nexus, and more units are flooding out here. It seems Faust's late game control isn't the best I've ever seen. He seems to kind of be a little bit unsure of exactly how to close out the game.
Oh my god, there's going to be 3 Templar sniped for free here if Faust just controls it.
He's not though. The late game control is not happening.
Here now.
What is going on? Where's the burrow, my friend? Burrow, please.
They're Cadency luckers, they don't like burrowing.
I mean, maybe Faust saw that we tried to cast the Cadency game and got kicked out, so he's like, you know what, guys? Here's a little flavor of what that game would look like. Oh man. Oh, looks like 6 o'clock base is being taken now as well for Faust. He's taken everything on that side of the map. Everything on the map except for Drone's natural and main basically belongs to Faust.
Faust is a very greedy Zerg player. I mean, look at the amount. Look how quickly Dragoons die. I mean, they are all plagued as well. So, I mean, Drone Storms are so good, and Faust is just running through them all.
Oh man, this is actually really interesting. Like, if Drone wasn't this far behind, like he could potentially try and make a comeback off the back of better late game control. But it's just the difference is too great right now. There isn't really any opening for him to do so.
Yeah, somehow he's at 50 supply behind, and this is like a campaign mission where you're holding on for as long as possible. But I think with the amount of cracklings that are coming in now, I don't think there's too much he can do to defend anymore.
Yeah, just flooding in the units. He's got his Defilers up in the front. The Archon's coming in. Can't do anything. The Hydras actually can't do damage to the Archon under the Swarm, interestingly enough. The Dark Swarm protecting the Archon there, and he does have a Reaver. He actually has a Reaver. Maybe Faust should just snipe the Nexus. No, it looks like he's not going to.
Yeah, he doesn't have the damage to snipe the Nexus, unfortunately. And, I mean, that Swarm is actually working against him. All of Drone's units are just hiding under there. And look at this, the Reaver is invulnerable. It can just scarab forever. Oh man, that Swarm was not the best tactical decision, but here come the cracklings.
That is actually amazing. If that Swarm wasn't there, this Hydra could have potentially actually killed that Reaver, but never mind. Looks like the Overlord's the pilot's gonna go for the Plague there. And this Nexus is actually gonna go super low from the Plague, in fact, because he's got no shields already. That Plague is gonna mean he can probably one-shot it.
Yeah, now Faust is almost, well, he's pretty much mained out of his main. He's completely abandoned that now. He's got the 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock mining, so Faust's economy is just completely insane right now. He actually has a huge bank as well, and he's not using all of his lava. I mean, if he just used all of his lava, is he saving up? Has he got an Ultralisk down? He's building it now. The Ultralisk cavern is going up in the bottom right of the map next to the 2 evolution chambers, and I mean, it may look like he's banking a lot of money because he's not spending it, but realistically, he's just saving for Ultralisks.
He's going for a drop now at the top left kicks. He's going to drop a lurker and some lings in the back. There is a full energy high Templar
And
here.
he's coming in for the front.
Oh, he missed. He stormed the Nexus and actually didn't hit anything with the first Ionic Storm. Big mistake there from Drone, and now he's going in the front side as well. Going in the front, going in the back. Faust doing exactly what he's done all game. Finally, the Nexus does fall. Very, very low on health already, and I think this is going to be a GG from Drone. And Faust wins the first game of TeamLiquid Open number 2. Drone is going to be playing Protoss here at the left side. He's the green Protoss. He actually splits to 3 patches. That's suboptimal.
It is, but it's frustrating splitting Sayle. He hasn't spent enough time on a splitting map recently. And in the top right, we do have Faust, the brown Zerg player.
Indeed, we do. So it's gonna be, man. Wait a minute. This is an interesting map choice to pick PvZ. So I don't know. I mean, the thing is, so last game, right? He basically got destroyed by getting dropped all over the place and not responding to it correctly. Tau Cross is a map where it's super easy to do big drops into your opponent's main. I mean, it's just like there's a thin wall separating your main from the rest of the map. And you can even like drop on that little platform by the natural and all that good stuff. So I feel like this would be, you know, a good map for Faust to do a similar style if he wanted to.
Yeah, it does make me wonder if in reaction to what Faust was doing last game, we may see Drone go for a little bit of an earlier Stargate. I mean, I don't think throughout that entire game he ever got a Stargate, and
right.
I think that was his biggest problem.
Yeah, it's quite funny that by not getting a Stargate, it wasn't that he died to mutas, it was actually that he died to drops. As, huh.
It's like people say you don't need Corsairs to counter Hydralisks, but what if the Hydralisks are in the air?
Oh,
That's a scary situation.
What if they're coming in Overlords? I guess it makes sense.
I think this is why we see most Protoss pros build 2 Corsairs anyway, because you don't have to go all in with them, but you can still just harass the Overlords, and it keeps you a little bit safer against drops.
Yeah, so if you don't want to fully commit to going Corsairs, I think going 2 Corsairs is a good number because so you use the first one to scout, and the second one, if you show that by killing the Overlord in your main, it means the Zerg can't know for sure whether you're actually committing to Corsairs or not, so he's in the dark about that. And also, it means that, you know, if you do need to panic make Corsairs because he's making mutas or something like that, then you have, you know, the starting, you have the base for that switch, and just to, you know, keep your Templar safe against muta snipes, just in general, in combination with Dragoons and whatnot.
Yeah, and we've got a Gateway expand coming out of Drone again. It looks like Drone is being a little bit inactive with his Zealot at the moment. It looks like he's trying to be too clever with his probe. Actually tried to get a drone, but Faust once again using that gas trick to get all his health back. It looks like Faust is now getting his lings to sort of help chase this away.
It's actually interesting. I don't know why more Zergs don't do the gas trick. It costs you literally like 12 minerals or something, right? Because you only lose a quarter of the build cost when you cancel. So for 12 minerals to regen your drone HP, I think that's a pretty good deal, and yet it's definitely not something I see very much at all. I can't even remember the last time I actually casted a game where somebody did use the gas trick in that way. And look at this, Faust!
There's no wall.
Oh my god.
And that's not even tight either.
This is a backwards wall, guys. Gateway over Forge. If you're a Protoss player, repeat that to yourself. Gateway over Forge. It has to be Gateway on top, not the Forge on top. That is not a tight wall.
He can do so much damage.
But I love this counterattack, by the way. This is like the Eon Zerg style. It's like, wait, you wanna go Zealot aggro against me? No. I'm gonna go aggro against you. Here, have some Zerglings in your base. Have fun with that.
But look at this. Drone isn't overcommitting to the defense. He's even sending 2 of his Zealots to go attack. So Drone feels in a comfortable position right now. He does have 5 lings in his base. Speed should be... I think Speed should be finishing up soon if it's not already. I find it really hard to tell if something's a Speed ling or not because we haven't played Zerg, but I mean, there's not too much that Drone needs to worry about, really. As long as he keeps his 1 Zealot alive, he should be good.
Yeah, but
Faust is targeting the Nexus every chance he gets as well, so this is quite a dangerous position to be in.
Drone Zealots are AFK. The two Zealots at the front, they're just sitting there. He's way too busy focusing on the micro at home, and this is the problem with the multitask. I'm actually really surprised Drone doesn't have, like, he doesn't even need to micro the Zealots at the front. He could have just A-moved them in. Now they're just standing there doing absolutely nothing, and they've given Faust enough time to build enough Zerglings to actually deal with them. He's rallied 2 more Zealots back into his main, so these Zealots at the front are going to do absolutely nothing. I think his cannon, though, has finished, so as long as he plugs the holes in his wall, he should be fine. He's also getting his Nexus now, but this is really not the best gateway expand I've ever seen.
Yeah, one Zealot does get into the main, one gets behind the natural wall, only kills one Ling, but this Zealot in the main made a good drone. No, it doesn't. Faust with a really good defense. Drone is definitely being taxed with his multitasking here. He still hasn't killed all of the Zerglings in his main either.
Man, this is the exact opposite of how you want your gateway expand to go. When you do no damage, you're actually the one who's too busy defending at home. This is actually why usually when the gateway expander sees an overpool like that, you actually can play the opening a bit more defensive and plug the holes in your wall. But that's actually also why gateway expand, you're supposed to only do it when you can plug your wall with like 2 or 3 Zealots and a probe or something like that. So that in these cases you can play it defensively and not allow Zerglings in. So this is actually like, you know, building placement error or just strategic error, whichever way you want to look at it. Faust has definitely responded well to this, but he's now going to deal with 5 Zealots walking down, getting a little bit stuck on the wall here, but I think he should be fine. Yeah, the sunken finishes, he's absolutely fine.
Yeah, he shouldn't have too much trouble. He's created a semi-wall as well with his hatchery. So when he gets Hydraulics a little bit later on, he'll be able to funnel the Zealots through. Looks like Drone is still going to try and move in to do some damage, but sees the Sunken, pulls back, knowing he shouldn't really overcommit to this. And it looks like Faust is going for a Spire this game.
Yeah, and this will be for Mutas. You can see he's already mining his second gas, and instead of building his third hatchery outside, he's built it at his natural. So this is, you know, basically it not only helps to block the Zealots running in, but it's also because when you go for Mutas, a very typical Protoss response is to counterattack with Zealots to try and force your Mutas to defend. So this way he can actually keep his... Actually, he's sending out his drone to get the 3 o'clock now, but he was able to safely get, you know, hold his natural here. Not really worried about the Zealots too much. He only had a single place to defend. And now, as the Mutas come out, Drone could potentially be in a lot of trouble. You can see, again, no Stargate. Only the Citadel here from Drone. So as long as Faust can hold the Zealots off in time, the Mutas could potentially just win the game for him.
Now, the one thing for Drone is Drone has now scouted the 6 o'clock position as well. Drone doesn't actually know if Faust has a third base yet. His Zealots didn't go and check the 3 o'clock. So Drone is not playing with the correct information right about now, and maybe that is why he's choosing not to go for Stargate.
Yeah, I think, yeah, he also didn't get far in enough because of that Sunken, so he didn't see the second gas. If you saw a second gas this early, I'm pretty sure like 99% of the time that does mean Mutas are coming your way, but he couldn't quite get it. You can see the gas is like quite a diagonal away from the entrance of the natural. And it looks like now the Speedlings are just kind of trolling the Zealots, just buying a little bit of time.
He's cannon rushing the the third, I think.
Oh my! It's too slow though. It's way too slow. Like the hatchery's gonna finish before the pylon, or at the same time the pylon finishes. I don't really see that doing too much, to be honest.
Look how many Zealots he has as well. He can probably just kill this with other cannons, I guess. I mean, that's what he's gonna do. But look at this. The Mutalists are out. Is there any defense at all? There's only one unfinished cannon in the main mineral line. Another gateway is coming up, but there's no defense to the Mutas at all.
Man, this game is over. This game is over! Faust 2-0's Drone! I am shocked! Faust,
he's even
God!
targeting down the Templar Archives as well, stopping any chance of a storm to bring him back in the game. Looks like Drone is going to try and go for a counterattack, but look at the wall at Faust Natural with the Zerglings and the Sunkens. Just perfect defense here, and I think it can't be too long before we see Drone tap out.
Wow, 11 Mutas on the field, 1 billion panic cannons are being made. He's making a panic Stargate as well, but it's not going to do anything. The Mutas can just power down everything. There's 1 Templar on the field, but no chance of any storm or anything with the Archives down. He needs a buddy to turn into an Archon, but he's going to get picked off before that happens. And what can Drone even do? His Zealots don't even have speed. Oh, speed just finished for the Zealots.
Yeah, his Zealots are sort of moving around aimlessly, trying to find another base, I think. Looks like Faust is going to try and take the 6 o'clock base as his third instead. But I mean, he doesn't even need to expand. He's just doing it to do the old Artosis trick of getting more ahead when you're already ahead.
What's really amusing to me is he's not even microing his muses properly. He's just kind of like attacking randomly. 3 speedlots though do actually manage to slip through and run into the main base, but some hydras have been made. I think Faust might even want to like split, like he can kill this cannon and split his mutas. Half of the mutas can camp the natural, half can camp the main. Otherwise the probes just keep running around and being really annoying. But Drone is down to 24 supply now. I mean, this is his life on the line. It's single limb.
Yeah, he's targeting the Nexus as well now, so he's just like, well, you won't have anywhere to run to if I just kill the Nexus. Looks like he tried to send some speedlings in, but there are still 4 cannons there. It looks like this is almost a mistake by Faust. He's let a Corsair finish, and another Corsair is on the way. I mean, he's still in an unbelievably unlosable position.
Yeah,
but he has given Drone a little bit of a chance to maybe come back.
I mean, there are exactly 12 probes on the field. It's 19 supply to 61. I think it's as close to physically impossible for a Drone to win as you can really be in a game with this GG timing. So I think it's going to be a matter of time. You know, I mean, Drone, he tries his hardest. We saw last game. I mean, last game he was pretty dead as well, but he still tried his hardest, tried to make a comeback. He tried to rely on the late game control. But unfortunately here, just see, this is actually what I thought would happen last game. When you skip Stargate too much, you just get punished so hard by this kind of thing. And also, I love that Faust just completely sacked the 3 o'clock hatchery. It wasn't important to him. That hatchery didn't matter, right? I mean, fine, you take this hatchery and I'll just win the game, you know? Like, taking his 3rd hatchery to block and wall at his natural, I think was a great move and helped him win the game. Because if those zealots got into his base, he would have had to pull the mutas back to defend, and then Drone would have had time to build cannons.
Yeah, it would have been a completely different game if that had happened. Look at Faust, even actually checking for a 3rd base from Drone, I think. Just making sure he's not missed anything.
Yeah.
Probably wondering why Drone is still in the game, but I mean, this is all or nothing now for Drone. I mean, if he loses this, he's out of the TL Open 2, losing in a 2-0 situation, which can't be good for him. And I mean, Faust is just going to continue expanding now to the bottom side. And there's not really too much room to do. Drone actually adding more cannons as well. Just trying to like super turtle on this this one base that he has.
Oh man, this is so sad. He's mining with 2 on gas, by the way, but I think that's on purpose because, well, actually, I don't know. Maybe he wants to put 3 back on because he had a bit of a gas bank earlier that he couldn't spend, but maybe it's time to start mining that as well. Or either way, it looks like he's gonna build a pylon, maybe try and build some cannons to cannon up his main base again. I mean, technically, it is 2 base to 1 kinda. I mean, Faust has only just started mining from that 3rd base, but the muta's coming back in here.
Oh, and he sniped the only Templar as well, but Drone actually has 4 Corsairs now. That should be enough to push most of these mutless back for the time being.
But what about the Hydras?
But he's not going to be able to deal with the Hydras, yeah. Now, did Storm ever finish? That's the question. He does have the Templar Archives again, but these mulists are just targeting everything down, and the Hydralists now targeting the Corsairs down as well. Drone is on his last legs, and I think this could be the end of the game.
And nice move there, just sending in his big muta flock and sniping the High Templars. GG, well played! And just like that, Drone is eliminated in the 2nd round, in the round of 32, 2-0 by Faust to move on to the round of 16. We saw some Faust fans in the channel, in the chat earlier on, and you guys have been rewarded. Your faith has been rewarded, and Faust cannot complain to me about the bracket anymore because he took out Drone.